Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor.
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. Please, your opening statement. The prosecution will show the court that at 2:30 p.m. on October 15th, the defendant, Mr. Will Powers, killed fellow actor Jack Hammer in Studio 1 of Global Studios. It is impossible for anyone else to have committed this heinous crime. The evidence presented during the trial will all point to this fact.
I see.
Very well, I would like to move on to some testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, the prosecution may call its first witness. Very well, I call a most familiar face, Detective Gumshoe, to the stand. Detective, if you would briefly describe the case to this court.
Yes, sir. I'll explain it with the guide map here. To understand this case, it's important to grasp the layout of the studio, see?
Okay, so it's in English when it like says employee area. Okay. Alright, thank you, English translation.
This here is the employee area. The actors did a run-through of the action scenes during the morning here.
It's in English, but okay.
This is the main gate to the studios. The security lady that works at the studios was here at 1 p.m. on that day. Past the security gate, there is a gate, see? Past that are the studios.
That's Studio 1.
And here it is, Studio 1. This is the scene of the murder, where the body was found. Now, on the day of the murder, October 15, there were only 3 people here. The victim, Jack Hammer, and the defendant, Will Powers, and a young woman, the production assistant. All the production staff were in the employee area until noon. Then after lunch, the victim, Jack Hammer, went to Studio 1. Right after that, at 1 p.m., the security lady got to the guard station. Now, jump ahead to later that day, 5 p.m. The production staff came to Studio 1 to perform a rehearsal. Needless to say, the rehearsal was cancelled. The time of death was 2:30 p.m.
Man, this is a really long exposition.
The samurai spear found lodged in the victim's chest was the murder weapon. That's the case, in brief.
That wasn't brief at all.
Anyone like to hear it again?
No! No! Ah, it's like the owl in Zelda. I can probably remember that. Yes.
So the murder weapon was a spear? How medieval. Your Honor, this case is quite simple if you ask one question. And that question is, what did the security lady at the guard station see? Understood. Let's call the security officer to the stand. Will the witness declare her name?
My, aren't you a handsome fellow? I'm afraid I'm a bit flustered.
Your name, please.
Oh, dearie, no need for you to be embarrassed. Just call me Grandma.
So creepy.
Your name, please!
Seems Edgeworth has a bit of trouble getting his witness to say their names.
Wendy, old bag, dearie.
Haha, get it? Wendy, windy. She's full of hot air. Oh, nope. 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 Nope.
Higiyari! Objection! I object to the witness's talkativeness. Objection sustained. The witness will refrain from rambling on the stand.
I was just getting the good part, dearie.
Perhaps we can get to the testimony. Now, well, the witness was stationed at the main gate on the day of the murder, correct?
Yes, see, I was.
And to get to the scene of the murder, someone would have to pass by you?
You know your stuff, dearie.
You may begin your testimony.
She sure is one hell of an old bag.
day of the murder, I arrived at the guard station at 1 p.m. Poor old Hammer and the rest had been doing the run-through there since the morning. I had some errands to run that morning. Anyway, it was 1 when I got to the guard station. I was at the main gate from then until 5. Now, the murder happened at 2:30 p.m., right? Interesting to me because a certain man walked right by me at 2 p.m. It was Powers, that man right there, and he was heading toward the studio.
You saw the defendant then? Very well. Let's begin the cross-examination. Mr. Wright?
Yes, Your Honor.
On the day of the murder, I arrived at the guard station at 1 p.m.
Arrest. So up until that time, anyone who wanted to go into the studio?
Well, there wasn't a security guard at the gate, no. But the main gate was locked, dearie. You need an employed card key to get in.
Right, the card key that I have. So what she's saying is, no one who wasn't supposed to be there could get in.
Was there anyone at the studios when you arrived at this guard station?
Poor old Hammer and the rest have been doing a run-through there since the morning.
A run-through?
They were working out a scene between the still samurai and the evil magistrate. They got the basics figured out by noon, and were to use the afternoon for practice. Rehearsal was supposed to start at 5. That's why poor old Hammer went to Studio 1 in the afternoon.
So Powers was in his dressing room sleeping when he was supposed to be practicing. Talk about a laid-back hero.
If there was a run-through in the morning, why did you only get there afternoon?
I had some errands to run that morning.
What kind of errands?
Oh, well, you know.
No, I don't know.
Answer the question. Actually, I was watching poor Hammer and Powers. Observing, you know.
Observing? Weren't you supposed to be at the guard station?
Whippersnapper! I told you I locked the gate, didn't I? I did my job.
I'm not sure your boss would see it that way.
Anyway, I always watch Hammer's run-throughs. Always. Never missed one in all my years.
Wow, I want to see a Steel Samurai run through too. You could quit being a spirit medium and take up guard duty. Not a bad idea.
Anyway, it was 1 when I got to the guard station.
Did you see the victim then?
Did I see poor old Hammer? Nope. I'd already gone to the studio before I got back to the guard station.
Tell us what happened next.
I was at the main gate from then until 5.
So you're watching there the whole time? No breaks? Not even a second?
Of course! I'm a professional, you know. Or are you criticizing how I do my job, whippersnapper?
No, it's just after seeing you eating those dozen donuts. Sorry, after seeing you eating those donuts in the guard station yesterday.
I can watch the kid and eat donuts at the same time. Whippersnapper or snipper-wapper.
Snipper-wapper? Old Windbag is losing it, Nick. Why don't you raise an objection?
So the witness was on duty through the whole afternoon, the whole time. Very well. What did you see?
Now, the murder happened at 2:30, right?
How did you know that?
I have my ways, that overdressed young man detective told me. I fed him some donuts and he talked and talked. If you ask me, that detective isn't cut out for his job.
Poor Detective Gumshoe, getting ratted out by a security guard.
Interesting to me because a certain man walked right by me at 2 p.m. It was Powers.
Oh wait, what? No. There we go. 2? You're sure?
Sure as spit.
Well, who was the man?
Really, you should try not to get so excited at your age. You might strain something. Now, don't get your skibbies all in a bunch. I'll tell you who it was. It was Powers. That man right there. He was heading toward the studio.
So you saw Mr. Powers?
That's what I said. Got waxed your ears, Sonny?
Nick, this is your chance. Yeah, time to pull out the secret weapon.
I'll say it again. It was him.
So this is where they want me to... The picture. Oh, I don't know if you guys heard that, but my neighbors upstairs are doing some, what's it called? Home improvement. So if you're hammering, I'm really sorry, it's my neighbors. Let me get this straight, old bag. Ms. Old Bag. You've been saying since yesterday that you saw Mr. Powers, correct? But you're talking about the man in this photo, aren't you?
Just a moment, Mr. Wright. Let me see that photo. What is this exactly?
None other than the Steel Samurai, defender of Neo-Old Tokyo. Miss Old Bag, is this the Mr. Powers that you saw?
Of course. Didn't your mama teach you any sense, Sonny? Anyone can plainly see that's Powers, right?
No, they can't. Well, I mean, I wonder.
True, Mr. Powers does play the role of the Steel Samurai. But that doesn't mean Mr. Powers is the Steel Samurai. Oopsie-doodles.
I know that. I wasn't born yesterday.
No one is accusing you of that. Judge, come on. Don't make fun of her age. He's having trouble calling her old bag, apparently.
However, you do not have proof that the person in this photo is Mr. Will Powers, do you?
Nosy old man. Of course I have proof.
What?
Huh?
Even Edgeworth is surprised?
The prosecution would like to ask the witness. Please, make known all the information in your possession ahead of time.
How was I to know anyone would be so nosy? You should be ashamed, all of you. Anyway, I showed that photo to the young detective. He told me, this isn't any good as evidence, pal. He didn't even give it a second look.
Wow, old Windbag has left even Edgeworth speechless. She's good.
Let's hear about your proof then.
I never say anything I don't mean, mind you. That morning, during the run-through of the action scene, I saw Powers trip and fall. He broke one of the props. It was a big mess. Apparently, he sprained his ankle pretty bad. Now, look at that picture. You can see he's dragging his legs, see? Clear as day. That's how I knew it was Powers. Happy?
So he had sprained his ankle. Very well. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. She's got to be hiding something. I'll press her until she squeals.
I never say anything I don't mean, mind you. Whippersnapper!
Hey, I haven't even said anything yet.
I'll have you know I'm not pointing fingers at anyone behind their backs. Everything I've said is on the straight and narrow. Up and up!
Today, oh dear.
Mr. Wright, please, for all our sakes, try not to upset the witness.
I think Edgeworth has met his match.
That morning, during the run-through of the action scene,
Who was present at the run-through?
well, let's see. Rose Powers, he's a Steel Samurai, and poor old Hammer, the evil magistrate, and me.
And what exactly were you doing?
Observing, just observing.
What about the assistant?
Oh, she was off moving backdrops around and such.
So she didn't see the run-through then.
I saw Powers trip and fall.
Trip and fall?
Yes, and the thing, he's supposed to be the Steel Samurai. What a laugh. So Powers sprained his ankle. Helped to make it better for him, of course.
You helped make it better?
I kissed it where it hurt.
Let's just skip that part, shall we?
Where was the assistant then?
Oh, her? She's cleaning up backdrops, I think. She didn't know about the Powers' ankle.
You may continue your testimony.
He broke one of the props. It was a big mess.
He broke a prop?
Sure did. His own samurai spear.
Samurai spear. The murder weapon.
Luckily, I was there with my duct tape to fix it.
It strikes me as a significant detail. I'm gonna write this down in the court record.
Apparently, he sprained his ankle pretty bad.
Was Mr. Powers' ankle badly sprained?
Not so bad that he couldn't walk around. He went to his dressing room to rest up after lunch.
Less than now.
Anyway, I saw him dragging his foot when he walked.
Dragging his foot. Okay.
I think we've heard enough. Haven't we, Your Honor? Well, there is one thing that bothers me. Which is?
Where is the steel samurai costume now?
Actually, well, we couldn't find it. We're looking, though. Anyway, that's not important. The witness did see the steel samurai, yes. And it is clear that the person in the steel samurai suit was Mr. Will Powers. I suppose that's right.
Are you sure you're sure, Your Honor? Hold it right there. We keep talking possibilities, but we have to agree that this photo shows a steel samurai. Nowhere in this photo can we see Mr. Will Powers.
The defense has a point. I also wonder if someone else not caught on camera could have killed Mr. Hammer. We have to consider that possibility also. Then allow me to remove that doubt from your mind, Your Honor. Will the witness continue her testimony, please?
No need to ask twice. The time of poor Hammer's death was 2:30 p.m., true? The only person I saw to go to the studio before then was Will Powers. No one else went there. If they had, I would have seen them.
So if no one else went to the studio, then it would have to be Steel Samurai who did it. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
The time of poor Hammer's death was 2:30 p.m., true?
I already said this. Yeah. Right.
The only person I saw with the suits before them was Will Powers.
Are you absolutely sure?
Oh, quite, Sonny. Nobody suspicious looking passed by at all.
Suspicion looking? Yeah, see, nobody suspicious looking. Right.
No one else went there.
What about before you got to the guard station?
Before one? Why, I was in the employee area before then. I locked the main gate so no one could get in. Not to mention, if they had, I would have seen them.
Are you sure?
The witness has answered the question. Anyone going into the studio has to pass by the witness.
That's right, Sonny. You let him have it, edgy boy.
Edgy boy? Old Windbag sure has balls, or... well, you know what I mean.
Maya! Please! The language. We're in a courtroom.
Old Windbag have a way of skipping over important details after all. Or for that matter, entirely forgetting them. How convenient. Something for you to look forward to, perhaps? Okay.
So...
I think I have to say something about, like, photo number 2, but I don't know which... I don't know which one. I'll try presenting this picture, see what happens. Okay, yeah, that was the right answer. Hold on. Look at this photograph one more time. This photo was taken by the camera at the gate for the studios, correct?
Yes, sirree, Sonny.
So whenever anyone passes by here, it automatically takes a picture?
And here I thought you didn't know your head from a hole in the ground.
Right. Anyway, it's also true that the computer in the guard station records all security cam data.
Ooh, you know, if you wanted to work at the studio, we might have an opening.
That very computer printed out this photo. Note that on the back of the photo are printed the words October 15, 2 p.m., photo number 2.
Even I know what that means. Sing at 2 p.m. 15th. Really, Sonny?
Actually, I knew that too. The issue here is the bit at the end where it says photo number 2.
Photo number 2?
The computer only held data for one photo on that day. Don't you think that's odd? Shouldn't this photo be photo number 1 if it really was the only photo?
Order, order. Please tell the court what you mean by this, Mr. Wright.
Actually, that's what I want to ask the witness. This evidence shows that not one, but 2 people went to the studio that day. Yet there's only data for one of the photos. Who could have erased the data for the other photo? Only someone with access. The security lady herself.
You watch your mouth, whippersnapper. The only person I saw that day was Will Powers.
But the camera on the gate fired twice. That means 2 people went by.
Well, yes, that's what it would seem to mean.
Can the witness explain this to the court?
I don't understand these newfangled computer things. Edgy boy, help?
Huh? Believe me, I want to, but I don't know what this means either.
Huh, some help you are. You're a whippersnapper too.
Whippersnapper. Something the matter, Miss Oldbag?
Ah, that's right. I just remembered something.
Let me guess. Someone else passed by the gate. Someone other than the Steel Samurai.
Well, yes, I suppose you could put it that way.
Oh, I see. Your testimony, please.
Every day after I finish my guard duties, I have one other important job to do. I go to the photos recorded on the security computer and check them. I throw out any photos that are suspicious looking, you see. Come to think of it, now I remember throwing out that one photo day.
It's that one photo that day.
Miss Oldbag, this is the first I've heard of this.
Well, of course, Sonny, I've only just remembered it.
Right, anyway. Mr. Wright, please begin the cross-examination.
Well, I'd say this was a turn of for the unexpected, but I kind of expected this.
Every day after I finish my guard duties, I have one other important job to do.
Another job?
That's right. I checked all the people that passed by the main gate that day. I looked close at every one of the photos that security camera takes.
Do you back up all the security camera data?
Well, they keep telling me to, yes. But those computers are just so frustrating. I throw out any photos that aren't suspicious looking, you see.
How exactly do you determine what isn't suspicious looking?
Oh, you can tell by looking at their faces, for the most part.
For the most part? This is a murder trial, Miss Oldbag.
Well, I didn't touch the suspicious looking Will Powers photo, did I?
I think she's missing the point.
Come to think of it, I remember throwing out one photo that day.
Well, the heck was the photo you erased? Oops.
A fanboy.
A fanboy?
Steel Samurai fanboys. Real freaks, if you ask me. They get information about the rehearsals from gosh knows where. They're always hanging about. One was there that day.
Wait a second. Didn't you say no one else could get in? I locked the main gate so no one could get in. Those were your words.
Well, if you must know, there's a drain that goes into the employee area. That grate has been loose for a while. Leads outside and, well, that's where they come in.
They come in through the drain?
I told you they were freaks. Oh, and they're kids. Children. Whippersnappers.
Them darn whippersnappers. So, on the photo that you erased,
It was a boy. Probably 2nd or 3rd grade.
what? A whippersnapper? Those meddling kids?
Order, order! Let me get this straight. You saw 2 people pass by the gate on their way to the studios that day. One was a steel samurai, dragging his leg. The other was a boy who looked to be in about 2nd or 3rd grade.
Oh, yes. Well, we see his type there every day. Can't stop him. Can't catch him.
A boy in 2nd or 3rd grade? I assume it would be hard, if not impossible, for a young boy to wield the samurai spear. Impossible, I think. It's quite heavy.
Right. As I said, I didn't pay him much mind. That's why I erased the data.
Nick, what's going on? I mean, the boy was there. That makes him a suspect. Yeah, and they're already trying to unsuspect him.
This court will take a 5-minute recess. I want the defense and the prosecution to consider this new information. And no forgetting vital information this time.
I mean, just call him up as a witness. Mr. Powers?
Yes?
Tell me straight. Were you really in your dressing room? You didn't go to the studios?
I did go to the studio. I was sleeping, honest.
So, who was the steel samurai in the security photo?
How should I know? The steel samurai costume was off in the corner of the dressing room. Anyone could have walked in and taken it, really.
What? You should take better care of that stuff.
I couldn't imagine anyone who would want to steal a steel samurai costume. So, where does this leave me?
It doesn't look good.
You're the only likely
You're the only likely suspect right now. Nick! What are we going to do? First, we play for more time. We'll start targeting someone else that could conceivably have done this. Right! And it'll take them so long to shoot us down that we can get another day. Right. We've picked the wrong person. We might lose on the spot.
You don't sound very optimistic.
I'm not optimistic at all, actually. Hey, Nick. It's time. Okay, let's go.
What does that mean? Please don't sound like that. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. Mr. Edgeworth, will you present the prosecution's thoughts on this matter? The prosecution's thoughts are simple. Nothing has changed. The other person who went to the studios was a boy of roughly 10 years of age. The photo we do have may not be hard evidence. But there is still no one else that could have committed this crime. I call for a verdict of guilty for the defendant, Mr. Will Powers. Very well. Mr. Wright, your thoughts?
The defense disagrees with the prosecution's claim. There is another person who could have committed this crime.
Order. Interesting. Let us hear who you have in mind. However, be aware that this court does not look kindly on accusing the innocent. If you accuse someone who is obviously innocent, you will be penalized.
Right. Great. The stakes were high enough.
So, who was this person other than Mr. Powers that could have committed the murder?
Can't be the boy, right? But it might. I can maybe accuse the assistant, or no, I can't accuse the assistant. Maybe I can accuse security lady. It was a security lady, Windy Oldbag.
Who?
The steel samurai is dragging his leg in this picture. That means whoever was in the suit knew about that morning's injury. Maybe because they had been watching the action scene run through. There was only one person that other than Powers and Hammer who knew about the injury. The security lady, Oldbag.
What? Whippersnapper!
Order. Order. Is this true, Oldbag?
Oldbag? That's Miss Oldbag to you?
Miss Oldbag, we're standing guard alone at the main gate. She was by herself. In other words, she has no alibi. She could have briefly left her post to steal a steel samurai costume, then slipped into Studio 1, the scene of the murder.
Why would she go through the trouble of wearing the steel samurai costume?
Simple, Your Honor. She knew the camera at the gate would take her picture. If she was in his costume, she could point the finger at Mr. Powers.
Oh, I see. Excellent deductive reasoning, Mr. Wright.
Oh yeah, right here. Sherlock Holmes 2, baby. That's odd. Isn't this the part where Edgeworth pounces? Doesn't he usually jump up with an objection and some new damning evidence?
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, does the prosecution have an opinion on this matter? The prosecution has no meaningful objections at this time.
What? What's that supposed to mean? Oh, so you think all I did it, huh? Is that it? Edgy boy, don't just sit there. Do something.
That's my move. Maybe now's my chance to take the toll away. I'll give her a break. Oh no, I do want to make it look like the killer. Damn it! Oh, I feel bad for all of a sudden. It's true that the witness could conceivably have committed this crime. We must not forget that the victim was an action hero. As formidable as her personality may be, I doubt she'd be strong enough. Uh-oh. Moves from the consideration. That means it's Mr. Powers, is it? Sorry, Windbag. I don't have a choice. The very same reason that makes Mr. Powers suspect in this case can be used to cast doubt on Miss Oldbag's actions on that day.
But why would I do something so horrible to poor Hammer?
You forget that Mr. Powers lacks a clear motive too.
Indeed.
I did it. Now Windbag is one of the suspects. No hard feelings, I hope.
Wait just a minute. What about the other person who went to the studio? The boy. The one whose photo I erased.
He's only a grade schooler though, as you said. Second or third grade, was it?
But that doesn't matter. When I was that age, I could fit my old man in 10 seconds, tops.
Your thoughts, Mr. Wright? That boy is not the killer.
What? How can you be so sure? Oh, is it good that I see your kids and me and your elders say, whippersnapper?
I have proof.
Proof?
Indeed? Then let's see this proof, Mr. Wright. You have proof that shows the boy could not have committed this murder?
I guess it has to have been the samurai spear if it's too big. Your Honor, the murder weapon was a samurai spear. That very spear is shown here in this photo. How could the boy have taken the spear? It's impossible.
I see. Well, would the witness care to comment on this?
The Windbag, speechless. This has got to be a first.
Very well. The court will suspend proceedings on the current trial for today. Mr. Edgeworth, please find out more about your witness, Miss Wendy... What was her name? Something Oldbag, Your Honor. Then the prosecution will look further into this Oldbag before we continue. That is all. This court is adjourned.
Oh, yep, here she comes. Excuse me.
Wait a second! I'm not going to just sit here while you run off barking at the wrong tree. Me! I'm talking!
Oh, great. Stop the presses. The Windbag wants to talk.
Miss Oldbag, what is this all about? Have you omitted something from your testimony?
Actually, you must know, there's something I was told not to talk about.
Not to talk about?
By whom?
Huh? You mean it wasn't Edgeworth who told her not to talk?
Well, testify.
Global Studios wanted me to keep quiet about something. There were some other people at the studio on the day of the murder. They said they had nothing to do with it, see? So they told me to just pretend they hadn't been at the studios that day. But if you're going to accuse me, I'm not letting them get away scot-free.
Miss Oldbag, this is crucial information. Why did you keep this from the court until now?
Ain't you been listening? They told me to shut my trap. I always do what I'm told.
No, this isn't a bad dream, Your Honor. Witness the power of the Oldbag.
Mr. Wright, your cross-examination.
Global Studios wanted me to keep something quiet. There were some other people at this.
Oh, I need to be pressing to. So you were told not to talk.
That's right, but the studio and the TV bigwigs, no less.
Why didn't I hear about this?
Don't be too hard on yourself, Sonny. We were all in on it. There were some other people at the studios on the day of the murder.
Who were these people?
Well, the director and the producer for starters.
The director?
Should have known something was fishy. How could they have done a run-through of their action scene without a director? Of course.
Yes, well, I was surprised no one asked about it.
So, where were these people?
The director was in the employee area all morning for the run-through. He joined the producer around lunchtime, and then a meeting after that.
Where?
Oh, in the Studio 2 trailer.
Studio 2? What was a Studio 2? Yes, it was blocked off.
Well, if you look at the guide map, here it is. You go through the gate and all the way to the left. The path where the monkey's head was fallen over.
Well, Mr. Wright, would you like to continue to cross-examine?
Yes! Miss Oldbag, this is a trial for murder.
I know, that's silly. Still, they were pretty convincing about having nothing to do with it. And they gave me a little bonus on the side.
That's called bribery. So you got your bonus and you still talked. Oops. Oh, that's it. What did I not press on yet? 10? Oh wait, I'm skipping for some reason. Oops. So they were actually in the studio? Oops.
Yes, the whole day. When they heard about the murder, they beat it before the cops came. I'll kill this woman, I swear it.
I feel sorry for Edgeworth. Almost. She really left him hanging on this one.
Go ahead and accuse me on the line scot-free.
Them? Oh, I already told him. Okay, so now that's it. Yeah, and I'm done. Good break. Your Honor, we have learned there were others at Global Studios on the day in question. The director and the producer and some bigwigs were all present. Yet, as we stand here, they have not been questioned. I hold that it is impossible to declare a verdict on the defendant, Mr. Powers.
The court acknowledges the defense's point. The prosecution will gather more information about the witness, Miss Oldbag, and more information about these other people we have just been told of. I understand, Your Honor. This ends the day's proceedings in the trial of Mr. Will Powers. That is all. This court is adjourned.
Yay! We did it! Thank you so much, Miss— oh, sorry.
Thank you so much, Mr. Wright. I was right to ask you to defend me.
Oh, really? It's nothing. Or should I sniff? We'll be going down to the studios to do some more investigating. We have to find out more about this director and producer. They'll be turning up in the next trial as witnesses for certain. So now's my chance to get material for the cross-examination. So, Nick, have we figured out just who it was in that Steel Samurai costume? Could it really have been Old Windbag? What do you think, Mr. Powers?
I don't think it was her, really.
Neither do I, Nick. Yeah, I know. Look, I was just buying some time back there. Someone had to be the bad guy for a bit to take the pressure off of Mr. Powers. Poor old Windbag. I feel kind of sorry for her. Well, she wasn't winning any points in there with or without my accusation. Okay, let's get down to the studios. Right, we'll be back with you soon.
Thanks. Thanks, guys. Sniff.
Alright.